When you say to someone, this thing you've done hurts me so much, when you do it, it can relieve your pain if you can learn how to say it. If you can learn how to say it emotionally by practicing how to say it instead of quarreling. This you did now, I don't really like it. It pains me. This pains me so much that you did this to me. This thing what we are having in our mind, what they did to us that is paining us, is because we think we can't express it. When we are able to voice out what our problem is, it helps so much in solving it. It's just like going to doctor and say, doctor, this is where it's paining me. So when we are able to say, this is exactly where it's paining us, so it's easy for us to relieve our pain, relieve the way we feel about that thing. But keeping it in mind and nursing it first and looking for how to say it, that it turns them to aggressive and then it comes to the person another way. Because this thing we are giving to the person, like whatever you are doing to someone, what you're saying to someone, the person is receiving it according to how the person understands or how it came to that person at that time. And you cannot tell the person how to receive it. So we're trying to work on how we say this thing, not holding it too long and saying it to just let it out. Even sometimes when we are on our own, that the thing happens and the person is not directly there to say it, that will say, oh, why did this thing happen now? Oh, why did this happen? It's enough for us for our own sin, for our own psychological health, that we say, and the emotional health, for us to say, oh, I've let it out. That you sometimes kind of say something to yourself, though someone is not listening. This will help you to ease some tension, that even you will have time to, when you want to say it, that you could say it in a very calm way. Truly, at least I do this, that you can say it then in a calm way. Oh, why did this happen again? Oh, I don't like this that happened. Or you say to yourself, this thing you did, you regret it. And if we know that we ourselves also do make mistake, then sometimes we'll see the reasons to forgive someone. I don't know why whenever I'm talking, I'm looking like this. Because I'm not used to talking to someone and facing someone. So every time I'm talking, I'm looking away, because most times it seems to me you're standing in front of me. So it's always good for us to have that forgiving mind. And if we can have in our mind that that person did not do it intentionally to hurt us, that person is not doing it thinking about us and say, I'm going to do this and this I'm going to do is going to hurt her now or hurt him now. When we have that in our mind, that someone who said he loves us or she loves us cannot just intentionally go and do this. Now I'm going to do this and when I finish doing it now, it's going to hurt you. It didn't happen like that. Because if we trust this person and believe in that person, we'll see that that person cannot do us bad. If we really search our heart, after all, we're in a relationship with this person, that person cannot just wake up and say, let me go and do this and this thing will pain you. That we should consider that. And when we want to tell this person this thing, we can even hug the person or hold the person and tell the person, oh, this thing you did today, my God, it's really hot. So I can't believe you do something like this. Maybe this will make the person have a change of mind and be more careful the next time the person is doing this. Because mostly men, when you come out with this thing, or some people who are aggressive and say this thing aggressively and they receive it the way they receive it, they're going to give it to you back hot, very hot, that you'll be asking yourself, were we quarreling before? After all, this person is the one who did me wrong. Why is the person so hard to quarrel me when I'm only here to complain that you did me wrong? I've not even finished saying it. You are just so aggressive. Why are you aggressive? Sometimes it's because of our approach, how we said this and how the person received it. I want to say thank you so much for watching my video and watching till here. Please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. I wish you well. Hi friends, we as human, we need someone to love and someone who will love us back. But we can't decide when to fall in love, who to fall in love with, and how we are going to fall in love, even the place to meet the person. This is what we cannot plan. But we can try to keep the love if we want. when someone loves you and you love back, still, you can't guarantee and say, because I love this person, the person loves me back, this relationship is going to last. We can't say what happens to our relationship. It's why we need to make sure we do our best. We put in our best in the relationship. Why, when there's problems in relationship, that we don't start prolonging when to solve the problem. We having problem with our partners. We're saying, I'm waiting for this person to do this first. If you don't do this, I'm not going to do that. What will happen? What will happen might be that the relationship starts slowing down. Because when you're not in a good time with someone, you guys don't keep close. Everyone keeps stepping back in communication, in relationship, in everything that brings you people close. You start going back from it. When you are in a relationship with someone and you have problems, you guys will not be in talking terms the way you used to be. Anything, communication, reaching out, coming closer, everyone begins to draw back at it, because after all, we have a problem. And this is the point that destroys almost the whole thing. Because what brings you guys together is that thing that is happening around you. This closeness, this communication, this being together and doing everything together. This information of what is going on in my life, what is going on in yours that you're giving to me, is what is making the relationship move on. When there's problems, like there's a stop or a slowdown in the movement of that relationship, the way this relationship needs to function, it will no longer function like that because of this problem in the relationship. When we keep prolonging this problem in the relationship without dealing with it and getting it over with, we start having what we call a breakdown in a relationship, like total stop of feelings towards each other. Like we're not seeing the person how we used to see the person. Before, when we see the person, we know and acknowledge that this person is that special one. But because of this problem, whatever we see is no longer reacting to our body. We're no longer feeling it the way we used to feel it. Because of the problem. The problem we would have waved aside and moved on. We always forget that since we cannot choose who to fall in love with and when and how to fall in love with the person, that is not something we can find easily. When we have a mind that we can't find this easily, we'll find out that this is so sensitive to deal with. For that, we have to be a little bit careful because of how we could lose that. And this fire burning between me and you, let's say you're my partner, we are not the one who set it. We didn't come together and say, let's make this feeling or the fire that is between us a little bit high. Let's set it at this range so that it's okay with us. We want it to be at this level for this relationship to work. The fire that is burning between every relationship is different. Whatever that is connecting them, whatever that is keeping them together is different. The minute that thing begins to diminish, the relationship starts to slow down or die. But one funny thing, this thing that is burning between this partner is not something that there's something you can do to make this relationship up to that standard it used to be before the quarrel starts. These people must have a kind of strong feelings, a strong bond to make them have problem for a long time and still come back and start again the same level they started. No matter how you try to push it and make the fire burn and make it, you will see that sometimes nothing is coming up. Because all what is in your mind is too much. You try to orient your mind to concentrate, to pay attention and attend to this person. You will see that your mind is everywhere. Your mind is scattered all over. Because that thing that used to be is no longer what it used to be. It will take time for you to be closer, thinking about the person again, starting all over again. Whenever this feelings drops, it's like it steps more back than you can even think. It's so back that sometimes when the person is feeling hurt, anger, something is happening that the person does not really like, you're no longer feeling it the way you used to feel it before. It's something we should avoid. Having problem with somebody we think we'll still be with. If we have intention of staying with the person for a long time, the best thing for us to do is not allow this problem to happen between us. Because if this problem happen, and by any chance that we are no longer loving the person the way we used to love the person, or we no longer care what happens to the person than we used to, it's going to disturb us. What we'll be dealing with at that time is, how do we make this come to what it used to be? We start struggling with the fact that this thing is not what it used to be. What can I do? And we start then acting, trying to adjust this, do this, make that, to make that person feel what he or she used to feel before. And this is no longer real. Because the person might also see that you're trying to add something up. Even you who is doing it, we know that these things used to come naturally before. But now I'm forcing it. But though forcing it might be good, because it might recall some memories of the past. If you ask me, I would say it's better for you people to do things you used to do before. Like going places you used to go before, to see if you can rekindle whatever fire, whatever love, whatever feelings you used to have for each other, for it to come back, for you guys to start afresh. But unforgiveness, this, do you know who we are? This, I'm the best, I was not wrong, it's your fault, are the things that are making us prolong. Either I'm waiting for you to apologize, or she is waiting for you to realize that the mistake is from you. In a relationship, for partners who has been long, or who has a good aim to be together for a long time, the best thing for us is not to think of what the person has done to us, or not to think apologizing can solve this problem, because somebody apologizing to you can also repeat this same thing that the person has done. It's better for the person to apologize on his own than for you to force the person, or start saying and saying, I'm waiting for you to apologize, I'm waiting for you to do this, to show remorse, to make something that will show me that you regret what you did. This is good. But forcing it on someone does not change who that person is, because that person is still that person. When we think that we want to stay with this person, irrespective of what the person has done, instead of us to be quarreling about it and start living with the person or staying with the person and keeping quarreling and malice and things that will make relationships spoil, it's better every time to talk about it that time it happened and look for a way to move on without keeping it and prolonging this enmity, this not having a good relationship, not being in good time, and keeping away from each other, keeping this distance that will make us lose whatever that we are feeling for the person. Because when we come back, it might not be what it used to be. And then we start thinking, why don't we try another person? My love life is not going how it used to be. I wanted something better. I need someone who will have fire burning for me. It's a kind of boring. We start looking for faults. And whenever we look for fault, it's always our opposite partner, our partner who is at fault. The opposite person, who is always the person's fault, and why we are innocent. Let's not start building problems we cannot be able to solve. Instead, let's find a way to deal with the person's shortcoming, weaknesses, those things the person does that we don't like, that we make us want the person to apologize. Let's look for a way to handle them by dealing with them, forgetting it, taking it that this is where the person is, because we are not too perfect, and find a way to move on, so that in the near future we can have that person we wish to have so much, than to keep making problems and losing that important person who we thought in our mind or convinced that this person is a special person. It won't be easy for us to find someone like this. When we believe that this our partner will be able to change, we complaining angrily and nagging cannot make our partner change. We pointing out word for word, fault by fault, what the person did cannot also make the person change. But sometimes giving the person some grace to change, like seeing this thing and saying, oh, why is this like this? Why is this done? He has done it again, and you try to wave it aside and go. No matter how bad she is, you try to see, okay, this is her problem. Who doesn't have one? Let me see if I approach her gently and say, this is what you have done. It hurts me when you do this. I wish you well, and I hope to see you next time in my next video. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye. Gotcha.